Dwayne, before the break, we talked a little bit about your decision to come to Toronto. I want to talk about another major decision made by the football club just a couple of weeks ago, bringing in another Scarborough native, Julian De Guzman, to the soccer club. Of course, being a designated player, that means he's getting paid a whole lot of cash. How is that perceived inside the dressing room?
Well, for me, obviously, knowing Julian from since we were kids, and I'm happy for him. You know, I'm proud to say, listen, hey, here's another protege from Scarborough. We knew the situation that we grew up in, and to have the opportunity to play your professional career in Europe and then come back to your hometown to make that kind of money, I'm happy for him. You know,
Did you have any conversations with Toronto about becoming their designated player? There were some rumors out there. Dwayne.
Yes. Before signing, I spoke to him about becoming designated player.
How did that conversation go, and how did you end up with? You have a really good contract, Dwayne. There's nothing wrong with that. But how did that conversation go?
Well, to my knowledge, it was promised that I was going to be the designated player, and I guess the league and Toronto FC came about, and that's already when I spoke to Houston about I wanted to leave. So I was kind of a rock and a hard place at the time, but nonetheless, they worked out a contract where I think was reasonable. And I told them once again, let my play do the talking, at the end of the year, well.
Because it seems kind of weird to a lot of onlookers, because you more fit the typical designated player kind of mold. You're the goal scorer. You're the guy who creates. You're the guy that adds that, I guess, that added touch on the field, takes it up to another level. Julian is a fantastic player, but more in a defensive role. So, I mean, in the way that you're looking at things, and I don't want to cause any controversy, I'm not even trying to, but this is a conversation a lot of fans are having, that what's going on here, and could there be some dissension in the dressing room because one guy's making X amount of money and another guy's only making, what you and the rest of your teammates make?
Well, like I said, I'm happy for Julian. I never knock a player making their money. I think it's well deserved. But obviously, it's something where at the end of the year, I'll have to sit down with Toronto FC and take it from there in terms of my productivity. And that's one thing that I spoke to him before signing was, obviously they threw age out there and all that stuff. And so I was like, okay, I'll let my play do the talking. But no way am I thinking that because Julian De Guzman is a defensive midfielder, he shouldn't be DP.
Do you have that option in your contract to renegotiate?
No, but technically, yes.
I hear you. I want to get back to that decision to leave Houston. A perennial playoff team. This team is on top of the Western Conference this season. Is there a part of you that thinks to yourself, man, maybe I made the wrong move coming to Toronto right now?
No, I think this was a move that I wanted to make at the time. And, I've done everything I can in Houston and for Houston. It just came part of my career where I was like, Toronto offered me a good contract at the time. And I said, you know what better way to, kind of close out the closing years of my career than to come back home and potentially win a championship for my hometown.
How much different is it playing in Toronto than playing in Houston?
Not much different besides grass.
Right, which is a huge issue. I mean, you spoke out on that earlier this year. Sounds like they heard you, Dwayne, that they're going to be making some changes. I mean, how much of a benefit is this to you? I mean, Danny Dichio told me last week he thought that his career could have been extended if he wasn't playing on turf every week. Yeah, well,
as of right now, I'm in a position where I can't really even train on the turf because it aggravates my knee. So you're looking at a couple of days off training. I'm a professional that doesn't like taking days off training, believe it or not. So, it is frustrating, but there is some progressive talks about there being grass. So hopefully those talks remain true, and we see grass for 2010 MLS season here in Toronto.